Assalamu alaikum and good evening. You're watching PTV World. I'm Shabnam Riaz.
The joyous Shabnam Riaz has not only been a PTV News anchor for PTV World for over 20 years, but she's also a poet and a published author, along with being a painter on canvas with both national and international clients. She's also a motivational speaker, and she has her very own podcast. All the details are below. Check it out. The lovely, the wonderful, the gorgeous Shabnam Riaz.
Hello, Sohail. Thank
Hello.
you so much for a lovely introduction.
Thank you so much for that gorgeous smile that launched a million ships out of Islamabad. That would be pretty difficult,
Well,
wouldn't it?
if we
There
had
is
a
no
sea
sea,
or,
yeah.
or a beach here, maybe.
Right,
But
right.
then,
So 20 years of PTV.
yeah.
How did you manage so long at PTV for 20 years? I think it's a wonderful thing for you to do for 20 years.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to your lovely
Cave.
little studio. It's lovely here to be surrounded by all these, literally works of art.
I know.
So it's lovely being here.
Nageen Hyats Nomad Gallery. Are you putting some of your paintings here as well?
I
Are you
will.
exhibiting?
I will speak to Nageen about that,
Good,
definitely. I would
good.
love to do that. It's a lovely place.
So tell me about
The 20 years. here.
the 20 wonderful years with PTV.
Right, okay.
How wonderful they were. That's right.
Well, it's something that is amazing, and it's a huge privilege. Because sometimes I think to myself is that if I had stayed on in England,
Right.
in London, maybe I would not have had the huge opportunities and privileges that I have been able to have here in Pakistan.
I feel the same way.
And it's amazing that many people go abroad and they say it's the land of opportunities, but I think that Pakistan is the land of opportunity.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, and it's all about, well, luck and other things as well. PTV was something that happened by accident. It wasn't anything that I planned.
Right.
Many things in my life have happened by accident,
Right.
and many of them were not planned.
Did we meet by accident?
We did.
We did.
Yes, we did.
Now we share something very, very special, you and I.
Yes,
It's a secret that we both haven't told the world.
and it's about to be revealed.
And that secret about you and me.
Yeah, we're
Shabnam.
twins, and we were lost. At one of those melee 20 years
We
ago.
were twins. Is that why I'm so pretty? But what is that secret that we have together?
Well, are you going to tell them,
You
or
tell
I'll tell them?
them.
Okay, so it was 2013, I think.
No, it was 11.
2012.
2012.
End of
That's right.
2012.
End of 2012.
And PTV World were launching their new English language channel. And I walked into a room in PTV headquarters, and there, seated at a table, looking very prim and proper, was Mr. Sohail Hashmi. And hello, assalamu alaikum, as a person does, And so we sat there quietly, and then he said, "Oh, you're from England?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Whereabouts are you from?" So without thinking of anything else, saying anything else, I said, "Streatham." And how likely is it that the person you're sitting in front of
It's from the same town.
is from the same town?
I literally fell off my chair. I thought, what? I don't know what they call it here, grain or something? Or something. Wow.
हमारा जो है ना गराई एक है,
yeah.
पिंड हमारे एक है.
I know, I was like, and nobody says that from Streatham, even if they are from Streatham, like saying you're from Brixton. But anyway.
No offense to the people in Brixton.
No offense at all.
watching this.
Never, ever. But, but that was really
That was a
amazing.
real icebreaker. That was a real icebreaker.
Because the swimming pool's there, the ice skating ring, the cat's whiskers,
Yeah,
and all sorts
everything.
of stuff we knew.
And how likely is that?
It isn't.
Something like that happening?
We were meant to be here in Pakistan and, of course, in Islamabad and respectively Karachi. So tell me, what was the change like for you with your, with your South London accent and also very prim and proper accent, to actually work here and work with your colleagues?
That's
and people?
very
How did you find
interesting,
that?
When I started working with PTV, and of course I have been born and brought up in England, so I had that accent. And so
you
what
still do, by the way. I was just wanted to
Oh,
say
okay.
we still do.
We still do.
Yours is more royal.
Okay.
More royal,
And so what happened is when I went there for, well, basically I didn't want to do the news because I didn't want to do any sort of live broadcasting. I was too afraid of the camera and doing live stuff, and I was like, no, give me something recorded. But they didn't have anything that was recorded in English at that time. They said, no, we want you doing the news. And they literally coerced me into it and basically, manipulated me that you've got to go through training. We're not going to put you on air. This is just training. And then I would go and, not know what I was doing, by the way.
So do you get coerced easily? I just wanted to do some research. Do you?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Remember, this was a long time ago.
Okay.
So then one day out of the blue, I get a telephone call and they say, oh, you've been scheduled for Monday, 2 o'clock. And I said, what? For what? Training? I thought this scheduling training. And he said, no, live news. And it was honestly, when I did that first bulletin, I thought I would faint. I thought I would have a heart attack. And the thing about that is when I started the bulletin, you could see the anxiety and the robotic trance that I was reading. And then when I realized I had got to the end, I just sat there and I gave such a huge smile. And I said, thank you for joining us. And everybody laughed there.
Fantastic.
And that became one of my signature sort of signing off, thank you for joining us. What did you ask before that, by the way, before I trailed on about this?
I totally forgot.
Okay.
Because I just got lost in your eyes. So I couldn't remember. It was that important.
No, because I was getting there and I was going on this journey and...
Your eyes?
No, not my...
Okay.
Do you guys remember what his question was?
Let's move on. We'll edit this bit out. So
yeah, but that was really important. I was leading to that there.
Yes, I know, but look how interested he is. Look how much he's smiling. Look at this little boy who doesn't really give a shit about anything. Just look at him.
No, but please tell me the question. You asked me the question.
I'll ask you another question.
No,
what it was like,
it's stuck in my head.
The transition.
Ah, there we are. Right. Now. Okay.
Okay.
You can edit that there.
So you've answered the question? No, you haven't. Okay.
It's going to be part of a blooper thing, I think, so you're going to use it.
So here last, what it was like about the transition. So when I started reading the news, everybody used to stand there and watch, and they used to say to me afterwards when I came outside, Madam, hame aapki samajh nahi aa rahi. We can't understand what you're saying. Can you speak English with a Desi accent? And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Because, I mean, if you're speaking Urdu and you come to England and we have a channel there for people, for the Urdu news, would I ask you to read Urdu with an Anglo-Saxon accent? That doesn't make any sense. So in the beginning there was a resistance to that accent, and then it slowly grew on everyone.
Yes, like you have. Now, because you're a household name, it must have been difficult for you to go out and not be recognized, and sometimes you want to do your private things, and how did you manage to cope with that?
In the beginning, it was, I was always quite surprised when anyone recognized me, and I was like, what? Really, honestly? And being a celebrity or famous or whatever, I've always taken it with a pinch of salt. So I've never really taken it that seriously. There have been really, really lovely times. I remember I was walking in a shopping market, and there was an elderly couple who had shopping bags in their hand, and they saw me coming in front, and then they put down their shopping and they said to me, "You're Shabnam?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "We watch you every night on news. Our daughter is called Shabnam, and she lives in America, and she looks just like you. And that's why we watch your news." And I was so touched. Right. But then there are always the scarier parts as well, and the unsettling things.
Do you think you've been adopted? I'd be very worried about that. No? Okay. Moving on. Just inquire into that. moving on swiftly from that, the poetry that has come into you, I mean, being a newscaster, very factual, and then being a poet as well. Of course, I read your poems and I thought each and every one was written and meant for me, but then I realized, oh my God, they're for the world. They're not for Sohail Hashmi. So, so how did that begin? And you're also an author of 3 books, author. So how did that begin, and what happened? How is that going at the moment?
Well, the poetry came first.
Right.
And until the age of 7, I was an only child.
Right.
And I used to take up all the time.
They, of course, didn't tell you were adopted. They kept quiet about that.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
yeah. I will have to sort of
Right, okay.
go into that one. That's a separate program, Sohail.
A separate program.
Yeah, with other guests as well.
I digress. It's not true. Please.
So, I forgot the question.
The poetry. Shabnam,
See,
the
you
poetry.
forget the question as well. Okay, the poetry. So what happened is when I was up to the age of 7, I was an only child. I was an absolute chatterbox. I could not shut up for,
I find that
even...
unbelievable, really.
And I remember our family friends used to phone Mum and Dad and say, put Shabnam on the phone. And I used to talk to them and not be quiet. So what happened is that I was an only child at the age of 7. I had a baby brother and I was so happy and so excited. I didn't know what to do with those feelings. So I wrote a poem. And my parents were so overjoyed. They sent it off to a magazine. My dad did.
Wow.
And it was a magazine that I used to get every week. It was a weekly subscription. It was Twinkle magazine, girls magazine.
Okay.
And about 2 weeks later, when I opened up the magazine, it was a star letter where I had won £2.
Yes, I remember that. I used to read girls' magazines.
I'm sure you did.
£2.
Yeah. I read some of your letters there as well. You wrote under the name of Sohaila.
Sohaila, that's right. So what did you do with that £2?
I saved it.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
For the future.
It came in handy.
Right. That's a lovely story, and what really comes to mind about that is how wonderful your parents were and how nice of your father, as a father, to actually send his daughter's poetry in. Are you a happy person, and what is happiness to you?
I try to be a happy person. It is something that you have to look for and be more assertive for. People have different dispositions.
Do your relatives allow you to be happy? Do they?
Do anyone's relatives allow them to be happy? Again, so that's perception. So that is, one of the things is to filter things in your life, toxic people.
Right, yes.
Put barriers down and only let the good come through. And only share joys in life, let things go.
Difficult that, isn't it?
It is difficult, it's very difficult, but in the end you'll understand it's for yourself. And once you understand that it's for yourself, then you will sort of make peace with that. You let things go, you will be a happier person. Of course a person can't be happy all the time, but you just have to look for the things that give you joy.
Right, okay. Well, I've just seen and looked at something that gives me immense joy. So thank you very much.
Did you just see a reflection of yourself?
I just saw my reflection of you. In your eyes, I saw my reflection. And that gave me joy, and it gives me immense joy. Thank you, Shabnam. So you see happiness everywhere, you're saying?
No, you don't see happiness everywhere. You have to go out and you have to find happiness. So it's there in...
So you've gone out now and you've found happiness.
True, exactly. It's a happy moment. It's something that we can look back on and, you have joy from that experience. You have to find happiness, but when you're looking for happiness in the big things and sort of like the job, the big job, the huge salary packages, the new car, things like that, you're going to be wanting more and more, and you're going to have a void in your life. Happiness is the small moments, the small things, these small events that happen that connect you to a bigger picture. This is what happiness is. It's the little things. It honestly is.
Thank you very much. It's very touching, especially when I think about the little things. Thank you, Shabnam. Now, tell me a little bit about the future. What do you expect to be doing? What would you like to do in the future?
Oh, there is so much I would like to do. Now that I have more time to myself, I would like to be more creative.
Right.
And as I said to you before, I've never really planned anything. Things just, I think everything is connected. We are walking along a certain path, each and every one of us.
Right.
The people we meet, the people we intersect with in life, whether it be for 5 seconds, even a 5-second meeting with someone could be paving the way for the future, for God knows what.
Even meeting him,
Exactly,
and him.
exactly. You have no idea.
Right.
And where things are going to lead to, moments, places, incidents, events, it's an ever-changing chessboard.
Right.
Where the pieces are changing, the board is changing, everything is changing, and you just don't know what's coming your way. And I think the secret to doing good things in life is gratitude. Waking
Yes.
up every day and just saying a thank you for all the blessings you have in life.
That's a very thoughtful and a very good way to actually end the program. Shabnam, I'd like to take this opportunity and thanking you for coming down. You've been wanting to do this for a long, long time. I just didn't know when I would be in Islamabad, and I'm so happy that we've met in such a wonderful environment, such a beautiful place.
It is
to be able
absolutely
to,
wonderful, and it's been a
do this.
privilege to be able to sit down here and speak to you. And,
it's been an honor to sit here.
and I'm sure my mum will have a lot to say about the adoption.
Please do give your mother my regards, both of them or even 6 of them. Thank you very much for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the lovely Shabnam. Of course, having known her for a long time, I do joke a little bit. She doesn't have 6 mothers. We could be contacting internationally as well, could be as 12. But who wouldn't want to adopt such a beautiful little baby like this? Till we meet the next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Respects to you and to your loved ones. The lovely, the wonderful, the gorgeous Shabnam Riaz.
What am I
All right, we'll do that again. All right, right.
Rolling.
The lovely, the wonderful, the gorgeous Shabnam Riaz.
Hello, Sohail.